The Star of Remphan appears in the Bible as a symbol of idolatry among the Israelites, linked to the worship of false gods like Saturn and Moloch. The god Saturn is linked to the worship of time, control, death, decay, and restriction. In Roman mythology, he was the god of agriculture and harvest, known as Kronos in Greek myths, often depicted as an old man with a sickle. His rule symbolized a golden age of abundance, but also the decay brought by time. But the cult of Saturn predates Rome and Greece, tracing back to Mesopotamia, Babylon, and Sumer, where he was linked to deities like Enlil, representing creation and destruction. In Egypt, Saturn was connected to Osiris, symbolizing the cycle of life, death, order, and chaos. In Rome, the festival of Saturnalia celebrated Saturn with role reversals and social chaos. Despite this, Saturn was also feared as the devourer, consuming his children to maintain his rule. Moloch, on the other hand, is an ancient evil Canaanite deity associated with child sacrifice, often portrayed with a bull's head with outstretched hands to receive his offerings. The Star of Remphan consists of a bull's head inside a six-pointed star, surrounded by letters spelling Rempha, representing Saturn's planetary spirits in the alphabet of the Magi. Moses warned the Israelites against it, calling it pagan worship. Acts 7:43 in the Bible recounts the speech of Saint Stephen before his martyrdom, where he condemns the Israelites for worshipping the star of your god Remphan, referencing Amos 5:26, which similarly accuses them of idol worship. In various biblical translations, the Hebrew equivalent Qiyun is thought to refer to Saturn, the god of the planet Saturn in ancient Near Eastern mythology. Some scholars believe the star represents the planet itself or an idol linked to it. Notably, the planet Saturn has a hexagonal cloud pattern at its north pole. The Star of Remphan is often tied to Babylonian influence and the broader issue of celestial worship, which was forbidden in Mosaic law. The black cube is a powerful, occult symbol linked to the god Saturn, representing time, control, and esoteric knowledge. Often depicted as a solid, black hexagonal cube, it appears in major cities worldwide, symbolizing dominion and the connection between ancient and modern traditions. A speculative theory ties the black cube to the idea that Saturn was once a dark sun, the original light source of Earth, before shifting to its current planetary state and causing upheaval. In the ancient language Sanskrit, Saturn is called Asita, meaning something like black-colored or dark. This connection extends to religious practices. Judaism's Tefillin, Islam's Kaaba, and the 7 circumambulations during Hajj, which some link to Saturn's 7 rings and orbital patterns, which is of course not supported by mainstream Islamic theology. In Christianity, Saturday, named after Saturn, is a day of rest, reflecting on time's influence. Historically, Saturn worship included rituals and sacrifices meant to maintain cosmic balance, reinforcing its dual nature as a force of creation and destruction. Even today, the black cube appears in many conspiracy theories, symbolizing control over the material world and the relentless passage of time. The Sigil of Choronzon consists of 3 inverted tear runes, representing lawlessness and destruction, blasphemous to the Old Norse god of justice, law, and order. It also contains 3 Isa runes, signifying ice, inertia, and Niflheimer, the realm of darkness and cold. There are also 6 inverted Lagus runes hidden in the symbol, embodying chaotic water energy, fear, and the creation of abominations. Some sources claim the 333 is simply the Hebrew numerical value of Choronzon's name. Choronzon is a hungry demon that first appeared in the occult writings of John Dee and Edward Kelly about Enochian magic, later becoming central to Aleister Crowley's Thelema as the Dweller in the Abyss. He represents the final challenge before enlightenment, where he either destroys the ego or shreds the unworthy into many pieces. In Qliphotic traditions, Choronzon is the blood-stained guardian of the abyss, wielding 333 razor-sharp blades, allowing only those fully committed to darkness to pass. The sigil itself is associated with the Temple of Blood, an esoteric US-based sect linked to the Order of Nine Angles, known for extreme satanic and neo-Nazi ideologies. The Mark of the Beast is a symbol closely tied to Aleister Crowley, reflecting his identity as the self-styled Great Beast and his Thelemic philosophy. Designed as his personal sigil, it merges Thelemic and solar phallic symbolism, embodying his fascination with love magic and the union of opposites. The design features the ancient sun sign, the emblem of the moon, and 3 interlapping circles, creating an image that suggests both celestial harmony and ritualistic sexuality. An inverted heptagram, the 7-pointed star of Babalon, is central to the symbol, representing the Great Mother and the Divine Feminine in Thelema. When viewed from above, the circular shapes in the middle shall signify a phallus symbol, Crowley's direct nod to the solar phallic nature of the beast. The number 666 is placed beneath, referring to the mark of the beast mentioned in the Bible. The Seal of Babalon, or Aiwass sigil, is a powerful symbol used in Thelemic rituals to invoke or communicate with Aiwass, the entity Crowley claimed dictated the Book of the Law to him. The sigil is closely associated with the goddess Babalon, who represents the feminine principle, often depicted as the Great Mother, Scarlet Woman, or Mother of Abominations. The symbol features a heptagram, the 7-pointed star that represents Babylon's feminine essence, drawing on the mysticism of 7 as a sacred, passive, and feminine number. In the Book of Lies, Crowley emphasizes the significance of 7, describing it as the number of veils in the harem of the divine, the 7 lamps beside Babylon's bed, and the 7 heads of the beast that she rides. The numbers on the seal also equal the number 156, the number associated with Babylon in Thelema. Babylon's consort is Chaos, the father of life, representing the male counterpart to her creative energy, a necessary balance of the cosmos in the Thelemic worldview. The Satanic Trapezoid was Anton LaVey's sigil before founding the Church of Satan, originally used for his magic group, the Order of the Trapezoid. Inspired by an open-bottomed pentagram from the Costa Rican group Los Hermanos Diablo, LaVey added a surrounding trapezoid, 3 sixes from the Book of Revelation, and an upthrust pitchfork signifying rebellion. The trapezoid was seen as the perfect form, while the inverted pentagram, broken at the bottom, symbolized an open gateway for evil. The Order of the Trapezoid later became the Church of Satan's governing body, and its members wore a medallion with a bat-winged demon. The symbol was used in secret rituals, often covered by this bat emblem in public. The Seal of Astaroth is a sigil from the Lesser Key of Solomon, a 17th century grimoire on dark goetic sorcery. It is used in demonology to summon or work with Astaroth, a great duke of hell ranked alongside Lucifer and Beelzebub. Originally derived from the Phoenician goddess Astarte, Astaroth embodies corrupted wisdom, deceit, and spiritual corruption. His sigil is employed in rituals to invoke his influence, often associated with temptation, lust, manipulation, and the erosion of faith. The Sigil of Naamah represents a demoness from Jewish mythology, often linked to seduction and sexuality in modern occult practices and referred to as the Queen of Demons. Described in the Kabbalistic Zohar, she seduced men and angels, birthing Asmodeus, the king of demons, and countless demonic offspring. Alongside Lilith, another demon said to be Adam's first wife, Naamah was said to bring plagues upon mankind and corrupt the angels Uzzah and Azazel, who were part of the group of angels known as the Watchers. Naamah was believed to conceive demons from men's desires in their dreams, passing them to Lilith to raise. The Mark of Qayin is a sigil tied to Luciferian and left-hand path traditions, representing Cain as a figure of rebellion, forbidden knowledge, and spiritual exile. It embodies the paradox of his curse, both punishment and protection, aligning with themes of enlightenment through adversity. In occult circles, his crime against Abel is sometimes seen as a symbolic act of breaking from or challenging divine order to pursue personal enlightenment or power. There is no universal symbol of the mark of Qayin, and it can vary greatly depending on the tradition, but misanthropic satanic left-hand path traditions like the Temple of the Black Light use a specific sigil for their rituals. This sigil often features a staff intersected by a cross, a spiraling serpent or scythe-like curve, and a trident-like top representing dominion, transformation, death, and infernal power. Encircling runes and glyphs hint at alchemical, Kabbalistic, or planetary influences, reinforcing its association with transgression and independence. The seal of Saturn, rooted in planetary magic and hermetic traditions, represents the planet Saturn's intelligence and esoteric influence. In the Kabbalistic tree of life, Saturn corresponds to Binah, symbolizing structure, limitation, and understanding. But the seal is also deeply tied to occult Saturnian worship, where Saturn represents hidden truth, esoteric knowledge, death, and rebirth. In Western occultism, Saturn governs discipline, structure, time, limitation, and karma. The seal of Saturn connects once again to the Roman god Saturn, ruler of agriculture, time, and wealth. Yet, across various esoteric traditions, Saturn appears as a planetary archon, a cosmic force shaping the material world under different names, like Kronos in Greek mythology and Shani in Hinduism, always embodying his role as both a ruler over death and a gatekeeper of hidden wisdom. Medieval alchemists and magicians used it to invoke Saturn's energies, drawing from the magic square of Saturn, a 3x3 grid, where each row, column, and diagonal sum to 15, a number linked to Saturn in occult numerology. Since 1 plus 5 equals 6 and Saturn is the sixth planet from the Sun, it is seen as a cosmic boundary separating the lower material world from the higher celestial realms. Visually, the seal traces lines through the numbers of the magic square, often forming two interlocking triangles with a central point. The Saturnian glyph, sometimes included in variations of the seal, resembles a scythe. It symbolizes time, decay, and karma. The cross over the lunar crescent within the glyph represents the material dominating the spiritual, either as disciplined mastery over the soul or as repression and control over the feminine aspect of creation. Saturn is both a force of wisdom and restriction, and its seal appears in both protective talismans and darker occult practices. The German occult order Fraternitas Saturni openly embraces Saturnian mysteries, featuring the Saturn glyph in their logo, though little is known about their inner workings. Some traditions consider Saturn the hidden master, the force behind deeper mysteries. The Demiurge symbol is used in darker Gnostic traditions to represent Yaldabaoth, the false god who created and enslaves the material world. Depicted as a serpent with a lion's head, he embodies both wisdom and deception, dominion and spiritual imprisonment. The celestial symbols surrounding him highlight the illusion of divine authority, the ignorance of material existence, and the hidden divine spark within humanity. For Gnostics, the Demiurge represents a false creator trapping souls in a flawed reality, and the symbol serves as a reminder of the need to transcend the material world and seek true spiritual enlightenment. The Disc of Death is an ancient Aztec sculpture depicting Mictlantecutli, the god of death and ruler of Mictlan, the underworld where souls journey after death. Discovered in 1963 in Teotihuacan's Pyramid of the Sun, this basaltic rock disc dates back to between 1 and 600 AD. It features a skull with its tongue sticking out, surrounded by a pleated headdress. Its exact meaning is unclear, but some archaeologists believe the halo-like structure on top may represent the sun's setting and rising, tying death to cosmic cycles, while the skull could signify human sacrifice and mortality. The tongue-out detail may represent the consumption of souls. Mictlantecutli himself was not just a god of death, but a guardian of the underworld, ensuring the balance between life and the afterlife. His depiction on the disc reinforces his role in cosmic order for the Aztecs, symbolizing both an end and a beginning. Some believe the disc was part of death rituals, symbolizing the brutal reality of sacrifice, the afterlife's inevitability, and the ceaseless hunger of the Aztec gods for blood and souls. The Kabbalistic Tree of Life is a central diagram in Jewish mysticism, representing the structure of divine attributes, the universe, and human consciousness. It consists of 10 spheres called Sephiroth, each symbolizing a different aspect of existence or divinity, and connected to 22 paths that map out the relationships between them. Some versions include an 11th hidden sphere, which represents unity. The Sephiroth range from Keter at the top, symbolizing divine will, down to Malkut at the bottom, representing the material world. Beyond Jewish mysticism, the tree appears in Christian Kabbalah, Hermetic Kabbalah, and Theosophy, where the Sephiroth are linked to deities, angels, celestial bodies, and moral values. Opposing the Sephiroth is the Qlippoth, known as the Tree of Death, representing the impure, chaotic forces in Kabbalistic thought. Each Qlippothic sphere mirrors a Sephiroth, but in a corrupted form, embodying spiritual darkness. Some traditions associate them with demons like Moloch, Asmodeus, and Astaroth, viewing them as obstacles or challenges in spiritual development. While the Sephiroth symbolize enlightenment and spiritual ascent, the Qlippoth or Qlippoth represent evil, selfishness, primal chaos, and destructive power. The Qlippoth is used in some satanic traditions that practice black magic, such as the Temple of the Ascending Flame, which follows the Draconian path, an approach focused on self-deification, power, and transformation. Occult practitioners use the Tree of Life for meditation and personal insight, while those working with the Qlippoth explore the darker aspects of existence. The tree as a whole represents the balance of opposites: light and dark, order and chaos, divine unity and fragmented destruction. Abraxas is a mystical figure from Gnosticism, often depicted on emblems as a hybrid with a human body, a rooster's head, and serpents for legs, symbolizing dominion over both celestial and earthly realms. The Greek letters inscribed on some depictions translate to Eternal Son, reinforcing his role as cosmic ruler. Some Gnostics associated Abraxas with Yahweh under the name Iao, and believed that Jesus was a ghost sent to Earth by Abraxas. Abraxas is linked to the number 365, representing the days of the year and the heavens ruled by him as the Great Archon, the supreme builder of the physical universe in Gnostic belief. Amulets and seals featuring Abraxas, known as Abraxas stones, were used in the 2nd century as protective charms, with the 7-letter name potentially corresponding to the 7 classical planets. Abraxas also appeared on the seal of the Templar Grand Master in a French charter from 1214, likely a result of the Templars acquiring ancient artifacts rather than an indication of Gnostic beliefs. Despite his prominence in Gnostic thought, the Catholic Church branded Abraxas a pagan deity and later a demon. He is also referred to as the supreme god of the Basilidians, a Gnostic sect deemed heretical. Nero's cross, also called the Broken Cross, is derived from the death rune Algis from the Younger Futhark runic alphabet, symbolizing surrender, defeat, and passivity. Some interpretations suggest it represents a cross with broken arms, signifying despair and the death of man. The name Nero's cross ties back to Emperor Nero, who ordered the crucifixion of Saint Peter, who requested to be crucified upside down because he felt unworthy to die in the same manner as Jesus. This led to the association of the inverted cross with anti-Christian symbolism. In certain occult circles, the broken or Nero's cross can represent rebellion against Christian doctrine, the symbol of the Antichrist, or the destruction of old beliefs. It has been used in various subcultures as a symbol of chaos or defiance. In modern times, a similar shape was repurposed for the peace symbol. Its direct opposite is the life rune, the death rune flipped upright. The Hand of Glory is a sinister occult symbol rooted in dark magic folklore, historically linked to theft and burglary. Derived from the mandrake root, it is believed to symbolize power over others, particularly through its connection to death and forbidden practices. According to old European beliefs, the Hand of Glory was created using the fat of a hanged man and his left hand itself. The fat was used to make a candle, and when lit and placed in the hand, it was said to paralyze anyone in its presence and open any door. The symbol is depicted in the Petit Albert, an 18th century occult grimoire on Kabbalistic magic. Today, variations of the Hand of Glory are sometimes used as tattoos within occult circles.